In the busy city of Mosul, near the Tigris River, a famous scholar named Ibn al-Athir worked on a big project. He wanted to write a complete history of the world, from the very beginning to his own time. The result was a huge book called Al-Kamil fi al-Tariq, which means the complete history. Ibn al-Athir, born in 1160, was a respected historian and biographer. He came from a family of scholars and had a giant library to help him with his research. He carefully studied many historical documents, old records, and biographies. Al-Kamil fi al-Tariq isn't just a boring list of dates and events. Ibn al-Athir skillfully combined stories and biographical details to create an interesting and insightful historical work. His book covers a lot from ancient civilizations and prophets to empires. It talks about the rise of Islam, the life and teachings of the Prophet Muhammad, and how the Muslim world grew. Ibn al-Athir's careful research and interesting writing make Al-Kamil fi al-Tariq a very important book for understanding history. Al-Kamil fi al-Tariq was finished in the early 1200s. This was a time when lots of new ideas were developing in the Muslim world. Mosul was a center of learning. The city had famous libraries and attracted scholars from many places. This exciting environment helped Ibn al-Athir with his work. It gave him access to lots of information and a group of scholars to talk to. Al-Kamil fi al-Tariq is important not just because it's so complete but also because it's fair. Ibn al-Athir, even though he was a Muslim, looked at history carefully. He tried to tell both sides of the story using many different sources. He even talked about the mistakes of Muslim rulers and the problems within the Islamic world. This fairness makes his work trustworthy and respected by historians to this day. One of the most important events in Al-Kamil fi al-Tariq is the Hijra, the Prophet Muhammad's journey from Mecca to Medina in 622 CE. This event is super important in Islamic history. It marks the beginning of the Islamic calendar and is very important for religious and historical reasons. The Prophet Muhammad, facing danger in Mecca, was told by God to go to Medina, a city north of Mecca. The people of Medina, called the Ansar, welcomed the Prophet and his followers. They gave them a safe place to live and helped them, creating a new community. The Hijra wasn't just a physical trip, it was symbolic too. It showed the Prophet's determination to build a community based on Islamic ideas. In Medina, the Prophet built the first mosque, a place for worship and community. He also created a new society based on fairness, equality, and kindness. The Hijra marked a change from a time of danger and hardship to a time of growth for the new Muslim community. The Hijra changed Islamic history, shaping the future of the faith and the community. In Medina, the Prophet Muhammad built a strong Muslim community that became an example for others. The Constitution of Medina, written soon after the Hijra, established the rules for peaceful living between Muslims and people of other faiths. It created a society that respected different religions. The Hijra also started a time of political and military growth for the early Muslim community. Facing enemies in Mecca, the Muslims fought battles that eventually led to the conquest of Mecca. Islam then spread across the Arabian Peninsula and beyond, creating a large empire from Spain to India. The Hijra is a key moment in Islamic history, showing a change from persecution to strength, from a small group to a world religion. Ibn al-Athir's Al-Kamil fi al-Tariq shows the lasting power of history. Hundreds of years later, it's still an important book for historians, students, and anyone who wants to learn about the past. Its wide scope, careful research, and interesting stories still grab readers' attention. The book has been translated into many languages so people all over the world can read it. Al-Kamil fi al-Tariq is important not just for its history, but also for its influence on how history is written. Ibn al-Athir's fairness, his use of many sources, and his interesting writing have inspired many historians. His work reminds us that it's important to remember the past, to learn from the good and bad things that happened before us. In a world often divided, Al-Kamil fi al-Tariq shows the power of shared history and why it's important to understand our past.